I would like to welcome everyone to day 3 of our 5 days to creating a new and winning self-image. This has been an absolutely incredible week, and I welcome you once again and wherever you've tuned in all around the world. Well, without further ado, we're going to jump straight into what we have planned for you today. For those of you who don't know, my name is Michael Agyei, and I'm the co-founder and CEO of Inside Job Academy. This academy has been created to help you, your business, to achieve your most elusive goals, to remind you that you are God's highest form of creation. And with the success blueprint that we have, we'll be able to show you exactly how you'll be able to achieve your goals. You have to understand that this world operates in laws. There are universal laws that govern everything that we do. And that includes success. There are laws in place that if you follow, you will be able to achieve anything that you want. Now, the question I want to ask you on this hour is, why is it that so many people get excited about a goal, and in the end, it never happens? Now, this tends to happen, during the latter part of the year, especially now we're in this month. As we get towards the end of the year, people start to think about the things that they want to do. They get excited about it. They buy certain things, position themselves, but soon after that, it just fizzles out. Now, why is that? You have to understand that in order to become the 1%, you have to do what the other 99% of people won't do. That means there is something that the 1% is doing that's allowing them to achieve their goals that the other 99% aren't. So the question is, why is it that only a few people achieve their goals? Why is it important to set goals? Now, you have to understand that the reason why you set goals isn't just necessarily that you hit them, but the reason why you set goals is for you to grow. For you to grow, to become an individual, an organization worthy of achieving that particular goal. Now, there are 3 types of goals. When it comes to setting goals, you have to understand that 97% of the population, or 95%, don't even set goals whatsoever. It's like jumping into your car, not knowing where you're going, but putting your foot on the pedal. You will never reach or progress towards a destination. So if you haven't set goals, it's so important for you to actually write down what it is that you want. Now, there's 3 types of goals. You have an A-type goal, and this is things that you know. Your present result. Whatever it is that you know how to do, you set goals to be able to do it. For example, let's just say you know how to plait hair, and then you set a goal that I want to be able to plait hair this quarter. That's something that you know how to do, and that's your present results, and that's your A-type goal. And then you have your B-type goal. These are things that, what you think you can do. You stretch yourself a little bit outside of your comfort zone, just a little bit, but you know that with a good amount of planning, sitting down, you will be able to achieve this type of goal. And then you have your C-type goal. This is your fantasy. This is asking your question, what do I want? Is what I want. That's your C-type goal. You don't have a clue how you're going to get it, but you just know that you want it. And when it comes to setting goals, it is important that you set C-type goals. Closing your eyes, using one of your highest faculties, which is your imagination, and allowing yourself to enter into a place of possibility where nothing is impossible. and really thinking and meditating on what exactly you want. Now, in order for you to achieve a C-type goal, you have to answer two questions. Number one, am I able to achieve such a goal? And the answer is yes. You are God's highest form of creation. You are able to achieve anything that you place on your mind. You have an unlimited reservoir of potential. So the answer to am I able is a resounding yes to every single individual on this planet. But it's the second question that will differentiate whether this becomes a reality or not. And that question is, am I willing to do what it takes? And once you answer yes to both of these questions, this fantasy then turns into a theory. And once you become emotionally involved with this idea, you're willing to sacrifice and do whatever it takes. Napoleon Hill describes it as developing a burning desire. Then that theory turns into a fact. So it's important that you not only understand the importance of setting goals, that you actually go after what it is that you want. Why? Because if you go after an A or B type goal, you will not be inspired or driven to be able to go. It will not allow you to grow. But one thing that stops people from even taking steps towards that type of goal, to think about it and imagine it is a beautiful thing. But what stops people from going after it with a burning desire is fear. Joseph Campbell says, the cave you fear to enter holds the treasure you seek. That very thing that you are afraid to do, the fear that is holding you back, is preventing you from entering into the cave that holds the treasure you seek. You have to understand that fear is such a disabling thing. But you must realize and recognize that fear can't kill you, but living in fear can. So when it comes to you understanding or imagining what it is that you want, it all boils down to the lifestyle. It's the lifestyle that we all seek. It's the lifestyle that we want. That time freedom, the money freedom to be able to do what it is that we want when we want. Now, in order for us to get that lifestyle, we must get that success. Because it's the success that gives us the lifestyle. But in order for us to gain that success, it all develops from our actions. The things that we do, the habits that we develop, that we are committed and that we constantly do, that gives us a success. But the only way that we can maintain those actions is if we're in the right feelings. We're in the right vibration. Because it's the right feelings, the right vibration that drives our behavior, that then gives us the success and then gives us the lifestyle we want. But what is it that drives those feelings? It's our beliefs. It's the paradigm within our subconscious mind. It's the thoughts that we allow to go into our minds, our conscious minds, that impresses on the subconscious minds, that develops our belief system. And the very thing that creates our belief system is our programming, the way in which we are programmed, the paradigm. Now, how are we programmed? How do we develop these paradigms? It's through experiences, success and failures, childhood circumstances all develop our paradigm, internal or external. Our friends, family, culture, media, religion, education, laws of association, these all play a part in our paradigm. Internal, what we say and think about ourselves, our conscious and subconscious mind. Napoleon Hill in Think and Grow Rich says, our only limitations are those we set up in our own minds. So in order for us to really understand this fear that holds us back, we need to go down to the foundation, which is the mind. Now, this figure, this stick person, represents the mind. Now, you have to understand that nobody has ever seen the mind. The mind is not just in our brain. The mind is in our fingernails, in our hands, as much as it is in our brains. And this is just a figure or representation of what the mind is. Now, the mind, main two parts of the mind is the conscious mind. And then we have the subconscious mind and our body. Now, the conscious mind is our thinking mind. This is our educated mind, our intellect. We get to choose the things that we allow to remain in our mind. We can accept or reject any ideas that come into our conscious mind through our five senses. But the subconscious mind is our emotional mind. Now, it must accept anything that is impressed upon it. It cannot reject. It cannot differentiate between what is real or what is imagined. And our subconscious mind is what causes our body. It was what causes our behavior, and our behavior then gives us the results. Now, we need to understand this fear of what we call the terror barrier. And I want you to really pay attention, take a notepad and pen, and really listen to what it is I'm going to be explaining, because once you're able to understand this concept, you are going to be able to achieve a quantum leap in your life, despite the fear and doubt that presents itself. So pay close attention. Now, we're going to be diving into this stick person, the mind. Now, you have to understand that where you currently are right now, your current results right now, you're in bondage. Now, let X represent the current vibration, your current condition that you're in. It represents your paradigm, where you are at right now. This is represented by X. You have X type of thoughts on your conscious mind, X type of thoughts in your subconscious mind, which produces an X type of energy, your current energy, the vibration that you have right now, which then gives you X types of results. So think about it like this. Your current results that you have right now, let's just say that you earn $50,000 a year. That is your current paradigm, your current blueprint. So you can't even fathom what 50,000 a month feels like. So even if that thought is in the ether, you cannot even think about it, because all you know is what you know right now. X type of thoughts. And your X type of conditioning is what produces those type of thoughts, where you are at. So what happens is this. When you begin to reason, you're thinking about things that you want. You get a flash of inspiration somewhere, and you have an outside idea that we represent as a Y idea. Remember, X is your current position. X is where you're at right now. But you get a flash of inspiration. You come onto a call like this, telling you to fantasize what it is that you want. You think about what you want, and that Y idea now goes into your conscious mind. Now, you have to understand this. As long as that Y idea stays in your conscious mind, you will never see it in your results. You will just be toiling about this idea in your head, just constantly thinking about it. The only way you can see some type of results is if it comes into your subconscious mind, until it becomes impressed into your subconscious mind. Now, what are some of these Y ideas? It could be to start a business. You currently have an idea of starting a business, and that why idea is floating in your mind. That why idea could be whether to go and do your master's or your PhD, or to go to university. That why idea could be to the idea of going to purchase a property. That why idea could be to just move countries, leave where you are right now and go to a place that you've never been. So you begin to reason with this idea. And all of a sudden, as you reason with this idea, you start to develop feelings. Now, feeling is a word we invented to describe conscious awareness of the vibrations that we're in. Now, what happens is, as this why idea comes into your conscious mind and you're constantly thinking about it and you begin to get emotionally involved, this why idea now comes into your subconscious mind. And now when it comes to your subconscious mind, it now goes into your body and gives out an X and Y vibration. Now, this is a chaotic state. X and Y vibration. You have your current state, your current conditioning, and also this new idea of what it is that you want. And this chaotic state leads to worry. It leads to fear in your subconscious, and in your body leads to anxiety. Now, when this state happens, you suddenly crash into what we call the terror barrier. You are fearful. And what happens is, when you crash into the terror barrier, you then bounce back into where it is that you are comfortable. You bounce right back. Because this Y idea mixed with the X is taking you out of your comfort zone. This is somewhere that you've never been before. You don't know how you're going to do it. So you default back into bondage. Now you have to understand this, that if one advances confidently in the direction of his dreams and endeavors to live the life which he has imagined, he will meet with success unexpected in common hours. What this is saying is that once you're faced with that fear, the only way you're going to be able to face the fear and do it anyway is if you get an understanding of what is happening to you in that present moment in time. If you're able to burst through that terror barrier, on the other side of fear is freedom. Freedom. And that is exactly what we are looking for, freedom. And understanding is really the key to freedom. When that Y and X idea goes into your subconscious mind, gives that vibration, yes, worrying, doubt, and fear will kick in. But you need to break through that terror barrier. And this is why it is important that you set the right goals. You have to ask yourself this question: the goal that you set, it must excite you. Why? Because that is what you want. But it also must scare you at the same time. Why? Because you've never done it before. And if you understand this feeling, you're going to be able to operate and burst through that terror barrier. And that's why it's important for you to know, to understand what this feeling is. Because ignorance leads to worry and doubt. Ignorance leads to fear. Ignorance leads to anxiety. The thing that is suppressed within you leads to depression, which is anger turned inwards. Leads you to dis-ease. You need to hyphenate that word. Disease is dis-ease. And it leads to Integration. You have to understand that in any state of mind, you're either create or disintegrate. You're either moving forward or moving backwards. And this is why it's important to gain knowledge. This is why it's important to study, to gain understanding, because understanding leads to faith. You understand and you know, listen, it is faith that moves mountains. That belief in what is happening right now, you have the ability to choose, that gives you a state of well-being, gives you great expression, acceleration. You are at ease and you're in a state of creation. Now, as you are in that state of X and Y, and you understand this fear, this anxiety, but you take massive action, what happens is that X vibration begins to go smaller and smaller. And that new idea begins to take over, giving you that excitement, giving you that state of freedom. When you have that idea of what it is that you want, many people, because they've never done it before, they believe it's too risky. Maybe you want to leave your job. You finally have got the plan and the idea, but it's too risky. You want to start the book, but you don't want to put yourself out there. You want to start that business, but you have to understand this. A ship is always safe at shore, but that is not what it's built for. I don't know who needs to hear this, but you need to understand that you were created for greatness. You have an unlimited amount of potential in you. Do not allow the fear to hold you back. That's the thing about fear. Death will kill you once, but fear kills you over and over and over if you let it. Now, if you can guess, this is a world famous actor. Take a guess of who it is. He's a world famous Oscar winning actor. Take a look at this individual. Who is this individual? Yes, you guessed it right. It is me. Many, many moons ago, born into this world. You know, as a child, conscious mind, not really functioning. So whatever is around me is entering directly into my subconscious mind, developing my paradigm and my blueprint. You know, for my mom, my dad, I'm the oldest of four. And we were content. We didn't have a lot, but we were content with what it is that we had. You know, I saw my parents struggle with money, but I was very entrepreneurial, even at a young age. I remember being in high school and I used to sell cookies and donuts in school. Very entrepreneurial. So I knew that, you know, I was going to go into entrepreneurship. I was not going to work a 9-to-5 for the rest of my life, but I was also, you know, in love with science. I loved science, and my love for people actually led me to studying biomedical science. I'm doing my master's in hematology. But along that way of education, I remember I used to work in McDonald's. You know, I think the majority of people have got McDonald's on their CV, you know, and I remember I was there. And when you apply for McDonald's, you go as a crew member. Now, crew member means that you can one day, you can mop the floor. The next day, you can flip the burgers. But I'm happy with it. We're there, we're grinding. And then some people came in a caravan and they just messed up the car park, put bottles and rubbish on the floor. And a manager came to me and said, Michael, can you go and clean the car park? So I went outside, put on the high-vis jacket, and I remember picking up the rubbish, and I realized, hold on, I was not created to be picking up rubbish from the car park. I said, no, I can't do this. I can't do this. I just walked out. And I remember a few years later, I got a job in a huge departmental store called M&S based in the UK. And again, a similar situation happened, where I was told to do something that was out of my, job description. And I decided just to leave. Went into teaching as I was looking for the job that I wanted to do. And I ended up going into, getting married. And when I got married, I got into the field that I wanted to get into, which is in the pharmaceutical industry as a medical science liaison. Now, I was in there. First, I was in GSK, got there, left, went to Pfizer, was there for a bit, left, went to Sanofi because, I didn't want to be there anyway. And it could always tell through my energy, my vibration. So I said, you know what? I'm married, but enough is enough. I want to be able to leave my job and go and do what it is that I want to do, which is full-time entrepreneurship. Now, remember, I'd never done this before. I've been working all my life. That was my current conditioning. That was my X-type energy. That was in my X-type behavior. But this Y idea has come into my mind that I can be financially free. This Y idea that came into my mind that I can be a multi-millionaire. Something that I've never done or seen in my family before. So at that point in time, there was worry, there was anxiety. How are we going to support the kids? How am I going to support my wife? But in the face of fear, in the face of anxiety, in the face of worry, I decided to take massive action and made a decision that I am going to do it anyway. And I broke through that terror barrier. And on the other side of the terror barrier was freedom. Now, you have to understand that you breaking the terror barrier is not a one-time affair. You don't break it and all of a sudden you become fearless. No. The Y now becomes the new X. And you now set yourself a new target where fear is going to show up again. Because success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. As you go forward towards your goals and your dreams, fear is going to creep in. You've never done it before. The people around you may put doubt in you, but you need to face the fear and do it anyway. Eleanor Roosevelt says, you gain strength, courage, and confidence by every experience in which you really stop to look fear in the face. You must do the thing which you think you cannot do. Once again, you gain strength, courage, and confidence by every experience in which you really stop to look fear in the face. You must do the thing which you think you cannot do. Some of you have decided that, you have toyed with the idea of writing that book. But you were in that feeling of worry, anxiety, fear. And you thought that was an indication that that's not what you're meant to be doing. But the understanding of what it is that I'm breaking down to you is, as long as that's what you want, those feelings are there. Listen to me. For you to be able to break through them, to go on the other side of that fear, which is freedom. Maybe it's the business that you've been toiling about starting. Maybe you wanted to buy that house. Maybe you've wanted to move countries and the feelings of fear and worry are creeping up. You need to do it and do it anyway. So I want to end by saying this. Les Brown said that the richest place on the earth is the cemetery. Because in the cemetery, there are books that were meant to be written. There were songs that were meant to be recorded. Businesses that were meant to be started, inventions that were meant to be created. But fear, the terror barrier, held them back. But today I want to encourage you that with the understanding of what it is that this terror barrier is there for, as long as it's what you want, that C-type goal is going to excite you because that's what you want. But it's going to scare you because you've never done it before. But look fear in the face, and you must do the thing which you cannot do. As I've been speaking, I know you were thinking of that why idea. If you're watching it, I want you to take a pen and paper, write it down, write it in the chat room, in the comments. What is that why idea that you are fearful of doing? Let's get accountability right now. Write it down. What is that why idea that you've been toiling with that has caused you worry, that you're fearful? You're like, I don't know how to do it. You have to understand that as you break through that terror barrier, people and resources are going to come that's going to aid you to get what it is that you want. Don't allow you not seeing the resources or the know-how to stop you from achieving your goals. It will come as long as you take that massive action. So today's assignment is very simple. For those of you who've been doing the assignment, you don't know the quantum leaps you are preparing yourselves to go. I want you to listen to the Bob Proctor Abundance Meditation twice a day. This meditation is only 20 minutes. Listen to it in the morning, listen to it in the evening for the next 30 days. And write out the paradigms you have, the habits you have that do not serve you on a piece of paper. And once you've written it all out, I want you to burn that paper as a symbol that they're no longer going to hold you back. And then tag your biggest takeaway from this in the Inside Job Facebook group. What has been your biggest takeaway from today's session? This is the Bob Proctor Abundance Meditation. For those of you who are on the mailing list, I'm going to be emailing it to you. I want you to realize this, that the terror barrier is there in order for you to look fear straight in the face and take massive action to break through. Because on this hour, I have reminded you that on the other side of fear is freedom. Now I look forward to meeting up with you again tomorrow. Make sure that you do these actions and you'll be able to achieve anything that you put your mind to. Take care and God bless.